Hi everyone, and welcome to the first in a series of beginners bouldering coaching sessions I took at my local gym. Today, we're tackling overhangs and dynamic movement. I've been really into bouldering lately, and I figured what better way to improve. Our instructor Nix wanted us to get into the thought process of dynamic movement, hence the jumping. Now, for anyone who's tried bouldering before, you'll know overhangs are troublesome for beginners. It's just a different thought process. So, we're testing out the right form for overhangs here on the Traversal Wall. I'll be honest, my arms were sore after this part alone. Buckle up, this is going to be a tough one. So, shoes on, chalk up, and let's get started with some overhangs. Here we have our blue V1 at quite a steep overhang. Without the right positioning, I'd really have no chance here. Even with that, it still felt really tough on my arms.
The second way, your feet stayed on the wall because you actually pushed through your legs.
Nix explained that by weighting your feet, you stick to the wall, as opposed to relying on your arms and slipping off. This V1 is a perfect example of overhang technique. Last session I tried it and didn't get far. Now, with technique applied, you can see the difference. Whilst this green V0 was only a slight overhang, it was a great chance to practice the technique further. What grades or problems are you working on at the moment? Let me know in a comment. The instructor was clear that this session was about getting to grips with overhangs as well as being incredibly tiring. So I wasn't really focusing on A, the grade of the climb, and B, actually finishing the route. Though it is a great feeling to finish a route. This is another great example of what we learned in the session. You see, I barely make any progress on this green V1.
Get out of the wall using our hips, using our legs, instead of trying to bend our arms. Just going to start swinging your hips. You go side to side, you go up to down, either one's fine, but just a continuous motion to get off the wall. Okay? Nice and comfortable.
But with dynamic movement, a lot more options become available whilst climbing. Plus, it looks a lot cooler too. As you can see, utilizing dynamic movement, I was able to make it far further along the route. I certainly enjoyed this route a lot more the second time, but since I came at it with poor route planning and poor footwork, I didn't quite make it. In fact, I faced a similar situation with this yellow V0. Despite being a lower grade problem, I got a bit confused up there and it didn't get too far. A quick V0 overhang to boost my confidence back up. right before we head downstairs to try out a few more problems. Whilst I have you here, I'd really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe, but only if you're really enjoying it. Here, Nick's talked about practicing the motion of following the route, as well as pulling in, not out, for a firmer grip. Whilst I didn't make it very far along on this route, it was clear that this more thought out and technical approach to climbing made a huge difference. As you saw earlier, and as I'm sure you can imagine, I wouldn't have been able to get this far on any of these problems without it. It really just comes down to practice and patience after that. Spoiler alert, I've been using these techniques in all my climbing since, and it's made a massive impact. Special thanks to Rockover Climbing for being so accommodating of the camera, as well as our instructor Nix and the rest of the class. Also to Natalia for spending her Tuesday evening to help film and bring this video to life. In the next coaching class, we'll be looking at route reading, which we can all agree is something I really need. So, if you want to see that, or any of the other videos I've got coming your way, stick around.